Hello, I'm Matt Stump.
And I'm Alex Iannone.
And welcome to CBU TV. As you can see, things have changed here due to COVID-19. My counterpart and I aren't socially distanced and wearing masks, something that would seem so taboo just a year ago. But this isn't the only thing the pandemic has changed. Cancellations of almost every event, this not discluding CBU's very own ISP trips. CBU TV's director, Ivania Montes, has more on this. Ivania?
What is up, Lancer Nation? It is your CBU TV director here, Ivania Montes. In the beginning of the semester, Mobilization sent emails out to all students informing that ISP for summer 2021 will be on hiatus. I had the opportunity to talk to Director John King and Assistant Director for Mobilization, Chris Smith, on how the decision was made. Let's check it out.
Mobilization specifically invests in the CBU community to develop followers of Jesus who fully engage in his global mission.
The preparation for ISB tends to begin in October. That is where the application process starts, which then leads to interviews, team placements, the fundraising process, to weekly team training. Due to the pandemic, this year Mobilization made a big decision deciding to hold off any teams from traveling overseas.
What we know is, with the uncertainty of the climate, not knowing whether we're able to travel, not understanding yet whether teams can receive American students, other countries. And so when we look at all those factors, what we realize is for us to push our timeline back and to continue to wait, it's not going to allow us to develop the student and the training like we would want in the spring.
As adaptability and change continue to be the talk of the year, this doesn't stop Mobilization from getting creative and continuing to do God's work.
So we're actually running a pilot project right now where we're inviting students who have already served overseas with us in ISP. So a small pilot project that we might be able to ramp up in the future that would connect students here with students in other countries for English conversation that would eventually open doors for the gospel. And it would all be in partnership with our long-term field workers. A lot of times we see challenges like we're in right now in this pandemic, and we think, where is God at work? And all the while, God is sitting there saying, I'm moving. You just have to pay attention and look for me and be open to be used by me.
The Bible tells us to have an answer for the hope that's within us. And so there is field workers and missionaries and people all over the world that are getting unique opportunities to do ministry in the midst of isolation and stay-at-home orders all over the world, to where they're having conversations that God has opened up the door for them to have.
For CBU TV, I'm Ivania Montes.
Thanks, Ivania. Fires have ran rampant through California, destroying thousands of acres of land. CBU TV's Diana Villa has an update on the situation of the fires.
Evacuations have been ordered in areas as homes have been threatened. About 87 large wildfires are burning across the United States. Fire season in California looks different now than before. Temperatures are hotter, fires are bigger and more destructive, and the air quality is at its worst in decades. The California fires are not just California's problem. The wildfire smoke can stretch clear across the country, including the Atlantic Ocean. Record-breaking wildfires are occurring more often now. 8 of the 10 largest fires in California history have burned in the past decade. On September 9th, the massive August complex became the largest fire in the state of history. These large fires we see are releasing smoke into the air, covering cities into an orange haze. So how are you affected by the wildfires?
So my family and I, my husband and my 2 daughters who are 11 and 7, we actually live full-time in RV and travel. And so we have our RV parked up in the mountains of California in a little town called Oak Glen. And while we were down in LA, we got news that the El Dorado fire had started, and it was less than a mile from the campground that we were staying at. So we were very, very blessed that they were able to hold the fire off. But it was really one of the most stressful weeks of my life because we have a vintage RV that we remodeled. It's not insured for fire. So if the fire had hit us, my family would have not only lost our home, we would have lost all the possessions that we own, which is not much because we live in an RV. It's a very stressful week for us. We legally, I learned a lot. I'm from Ohio, so we don't deal with wildfires in Ohio. But I learned legally, even if they evacuate the area, which we were evacuated, they can't stop us from coming back to retrieve our home. But we felt like we did not have the right to require them to stop their work to allow us through to get our stuff. So we actually stayed in LA and stayed out of the way. So it was just, like I said, a lot of stress that week, not knowing what we were going to walk back into. But we were very blessed again that we came back and we just had ash to deal with and the smell of smoke. And under the circumstances, I will take that. Mm-hmm. Fires. So the community was heavily affected, as was the beautiful mountains. They were basically stripped raw. There's nothing left on the mountains. And so now the concern that we are facing currently is if we get any sort of rains, there is nothing to stop the rocks and the mud from sliding down. So they're asking us to prepare for mudslide.
President Donald Trump met with California Governor Gavin Newsom and other state officials on Monday to discuss the wildfires in California. If you smell smoke or see ash due to wildfires, remain indoors with windows and doors closed, avoid physical activities, run your air conditioner, create a clean space inside of your home, avoid using whole house fans or swamp coolers with outside air intake, and avoid using indoor or outdoor wood burning appliances, including fireplaces and candles. For CBU TV, I am Diana Villa.
Thanks, Diana. We are all so thankful for our firefighters.
The CBU men's basketball team had an amazing year last year, with a second-place conference finish and a final record of 21-10. The Lancers looked primed to make a great postseason run, but COVID-19 ended their postseason before it started. With many of last year's players graduating, transferring, and/or declaring pro, Wyatt Mitchison sat down with Coach Croy to get a better look at the many new faces on the team.
I mean, I think everybody's probably seen it with, all the Instagram videos of you guys training or, the videos on Twitter, but they notice there are a lot of new faces here this year. So what are some of the names that Lancer fans should be looking out for?
Well, we've got a good returning unit, really competitive group in Trey Armstrong, Reed Nottage, and Ty Rowell. All three of those guys have really good experience. Ty Rowell has great experience. He's been with us all the way back to our Western Regional Championship in 2018. He's been a key leader in our program, and he stepped up in that area even more, and that's been great. And we have a lot of new faces and guys that are excited to be here, and we have great versatility on our roster, and that's with experience and then also playing style. We have some grad transfers that we're really excited about. We've got some freshmen that we think could be great players. And really, these guys have bought into doing it all together and pulling for each other, and really accepted the challenge moving forward, not only with coronavirus and the challenges that's presented, but also our new opportunity in the WAC to compete in the conference tournament. It's an exciting time, and our guys have embraced it, and they've been a lot of fun to work with, and we've got a lot of work ahead of us. I mean, as much work as they've put in already, it really feels now like the real work is starting.
So you mentioned guys like, Ty Rowell, Reed Nottage, and Trey Armstrong as the returning group. How important are they to submit to the newer guys, maybe the freshmen or the grad transfers? How important is it that they submit the culture of CBU basketball?
Really important. That's one of the first things that we tried to do this summer is teach guys how we go about things, what CBU basketball culture means. And the work ethic that comes with that, the selflessness. And they've done a great job in leading that. And they've also done a great job as teammates in welcoming those guys so that they all feel like the program is theirs. So it's an exciting time. We've got guys that have great experience. We want them to bring that experience to our culture. And everyone leads in our program. And that's one of the things we talk about all the time is that, the definition of leadership in our program is to make somebody else better. And that's what these guys are doing. They're making each other better. And we know we have great challenges ahead of us, and we're pulling together. It's a huge learning curve, but they're excited about doing it.
Well, with all the challenges ahead of you guys, I wish you guys nothing but the best this year. I can't wait to either listen or stream CBU basketball just to get a little bit of normalcy back in my life.
Thank you, Wyatt. Disney dropped its new highly anticipated live-action version of Mulan on Disney+, and CBU TV's Maddie Bartolome took to the streets to ask students what they thought about the movie. Maddie?
Thank you, Alex. Aloha, Lancer Nation. My name is Madison Bartolome, news reporter for CBU TV. With the recent release of the live-action Mulan movie on September 4th, 2020, I had the opportunity to speak with some Lancers who had purchased the movie through Disney+. Let's see what they had to say.
I thought it was okay. I felt like there was a little bit too much scene changes from the original one. I feel like they really took a lot of emotion out of some. Overall, it was okay.
I liked it. I thought they did a lot of really interesting takes on it. I think that kind of changing it from a comedy to making it more dramatic, emphasizing family, I thought that was really unique and different.
No, I feel like $30 for premium, that's a little too much already on top of the amount I'm already paying. I feel that's, for me personally, like I think I'm good with not paying extra for having to watch certain things.
I don't know. I mean, I already had a subscription, so I would say yes because I didn't have to also add the subscription, but yeah, probably.
Up. And why? Because I just feel like the whole story and the characters would be interesting to see in a real life perspective.
Ooh, I think Princess and the Frog. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one.
Is there a specific reason?
I just loved it growing up. Yeah, thought it was really great.
Well, that's all the time we have left. Remember, Lancers, the new live-action Mulan movie is available for purchase and streaming now on Disney+, and will be available for all Disney+ subscribers on December 4th, 2020. For CBU TV, this is Madison Bartolome signing off.
Thank you, Maddie. The importance of voting is something that is somewhat overlooked, but CBU TV's Diana Villa goes into all the importance on voting on this segment of Lanter's Noticias. Diana?
Para poder votar en su estado debe de ser ciudadano estadounidense, cumplir los requisitos de residencia de su estado, tener 18 años el día de las elecciones y estar inscrito para votar antes de la fecha límite para registrarse para votar de su estado. Las próximas elecciones presidenciales serán el 3 de noviembre del 2020. Los estados han facilitado que los ciudadanos voten en ausencia por correo este año debido a la pandemia del coronavirus. En la mayoría de las elecciones en los Estados Unidos, debe votar en persona en el centro de votación oficial o emitir un voto ausente. No se puede votar por internet en las elecciones federales estadounidenses. Debido a la pandemia del coronavirus, es posible que haya cambios en los lugares de votación. Si necesita votar en persona, verifique la ubicación del centro de votación antes del día de las elecciones.
¿Por qué piensas que es importante votar?
El propósito para la elección es para elegir un nuevo presidente.
¿Has votado y cómo fue el proceso de votar?
El proceso fue muy fácil. Entré a una oficina donde me dieron mi papel. Estaban unas paredes chiquitas donde te dan privacidad. Ahí puedes votar por quien tú quieras.
¿Cuáles son los beneficios investigar a un candidato y sus cuestiones antes de la elección?
Inmigración es algo importante para mí porque ahorita hay mucha familia donde hijos están haciendo separados por sus mamás. Está el DACA. Los Dreamers vienen aquí a estudiar y por falta de no tener ese papel, el DACA, son robados de la educación que se pertenece para todos.
Visite el sitio vote.gov para inscribirse para votar. También puede descargar el Formulario Nacional de Inscripción de Votantes por correo. El último día para registrarse para votar en California por correo o por internet es octubre 19 del 2020. Las votaciones anticipadas en California empezarán el 5 de octubre. Muchos países alrededor del mundo no tienen el mismo derecho de votar como los Estados Unidos. Participando en estas elecciones es un derecho fundamental de los americanos. Por eso es muy importante participar y votar. Para CBU TV, soy Diana Villa.
Gracias, Diana. CBU's most famous event might be canceled for the first time since its existence. CBU TV's Carissa Gonzalez sat down with Director of Recreation Programs Tyler Cox to discuss this more. Carissa?
What is up, Lancers? My name is Carissa Gonzalez, and I'm here with Tyler Cox, Director of Recreation Programs. What is happening with Fortunable this year?
So, Fortunable, as we know it for this year in the fall, will not be happening. Unfortunately, we weren't able to have a flag football season because of regulations within the state and county about people gathering and COVID. So, this year in November, when it traditionally happens, we don't have a flag football season for there to be a championship game of.
What is an alternative that you guys thought of, if not?
Yeah, so we worked most of the summer and leading up to the school year with plan A, then B, then C, then D of just what was available to us. Yeah. And so we are offering things that are physically distanced and safe and that go with the current atmosphere and what's happening with the regulations. So we're having can jam tournaments and spike ball tournaments, and we're taking hikes with our outdoor adventure club, and there's going to be a surf trip coming up this weekend and next weekend. So we're still doing some events, but it's lower participation and smaller groups.
Cool. So if students want to join those activities, where can they locate them? When and where are the dates?
Yeah, we encourage all of our students to follow us on Instagram, so CBU Recreation, and we do a lot of our marketing, as well as on the different digital media TVs that are throughout campus. And we are doing events every week. So if you're watching us on Instagram, you'll see the dates that are coming up. But if you want to participate in any of the intramurals, you've got to sign up with IM Leagues, and the website's intramurals.calbaptist.edu to get all that information. But yeah, we have to sign up and you have to be there and participate, but we are doing events.
Awesome. Well, that's about it. Thank you so much for taking your time, and yeah.
Well, that's all we have for you today.
Thank you all so much for tuning in.
To stay even more up to date with us, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at CBU Lancer Media Group and subscribe to our YouTube channel. For CBU TV, I'm Matt Stump.
And I'm Alex Iannone, and we'll see you next time